Welcome everybody. Today in this video I'm going to talk about how do we investigate a company's HRM practice. So part of the HRM module is going through and finding out what do real companies do in the real world. Not just theory, but comparing theory to practice, what people actually do. So students often struggle with this, so I thought I would make a video to help it be a little more clear. When we look at workshop 1, we see the questions like this. What functions does HRM normally include? Which of those functions does the HR department in that firm do? So we can see an overview of everything plus exactly what the practice is. And assess how the HRM function helps the company achieve its objectives, which means, of course, you need to know what the objectives of the company are. And what does the company measure to evaluate the performance of the HR department? So we want to answer these questions, but in order to do that, we need to do proper investigation. So here we have, let's say, Susie going to meet with the guy in the HR department. So she says,
"Hello, Mr. HRM Manager. May I ask you a few questions about your company's HR functions?"
"Sure, I can give you 10 minutes, so I hope you're well prepared."
"What functions does HRM normally include?"
"Well, we manage the people of a company. We take care of the salary and benefits. We also ensure that everyone is safe and happy."
"Which of those functions does the HR department at your firm do?"
All of them.
"How does the HR function help the company achieve its objectives?"
Well, the work needs people. So if we do not hire them, nobody does the work. If we don't pay them, people quit and work stops. Want profit? You need HR.
"What does the company measure to evaluate the performance of the HR department?"
Oh, the HR department is the most effective department. We really do a great job. In fact, the head of HR should get a big raise.
"Okay, thank you for your time. You really helped me to learn a lot."
Then she puts everything on the slides, and then she presents to the class. So when she speaks, she's just reporting what she found.
Good morning, everyone. Today I will talk about how HR is practiced at ABC Corp. The HR department manages the people of the company. They take care of salary and benefits. They also ensure that everyone is safe and happy. They do all of these things. They are very thorough. The objective of the company is profit. If you want profit, you need HR. If HR does not hire people, then there is nobody to do the job. If they don't get paid, the people quit and work stops. The HR department is very effective. In fact, HR is considered the most effective department in the company. Thank you for listening. Does anyone have any questions?
Now, her investigation, her interviews with the company, and her presentation, everything was wrong. And I know some of you may do this, and I want you to see that it's not right. This is not the right way to do this. So what I would like you to do is think for a moment, what did she do that is wrong? I talked in the lecture about how you should do the investigation. What did she not do that I said that you need to do? Pause the video here and try and answer that question. Here are some of the problems that she had. One is the student asked the person at the company to do the student's work. It is the student's job to answer question 1. She should not need to go to the company because it's a general question. It's not a question about the company. It's a question about all HR in the world. What does HR generally do? And she didn't. She didn't do any reading at all. And that's really the second problem. She didn't do any literature research. So she's just, her work shows that it's very, very poor quality. She didn't do hardly any work at all. And probably she didn't learn anything in the process. So her grade's going to be really, really, really bad. She didn't show any of her own thinking. She's like a parrot. She's just repeating what it is that the person in the company said. And that is not what she was asked to do. She was asked to do an investigation, which means she's expected to read the literature, prepare good questions, go and ask the questions, talk to multiple people at the company, analyze all of the responses, put everything together, and then present her own thoughts, not just repeating what the people at the company said. So let's look at the right way. What is a better way? So here, our student goes in and talks to the HR manager, and she says, it starts off the same.
Good morning, Mr. HR Manager. Can I ask you a few questions about how HRM is performed in ABC Corp?
Sure, I can give you 10 minutes, so I hope you're well prepared.
Thank you. Yes, I have read a lot about HRM, and I see that different companies do things differently. So my questions begin with administrative tasks. Does HR handle paying salaries and benefits?
Now, at this point, she's already showing that she's done some reading in literature. Yes, we handle all compensation issues for our employees. We also handle benefits like insurance and tracking vacation time. Now, because she's done the research, she's also getting better quality answers.
I see, thank you. Next, is HR responsible for motivating employees? If yes, can you share with me what HR does to ensure employees are motivated?
Yes, we do motivate our employees. We give them birthday gifts and a cake. Now, we can see her question was very good, but his answer is not very good. And if you think his answer is good, then you haven't read the literature on HRM. But she challenges him. She's polite. She's always polite, but she does challenge him a little bit. So she says,
I see, thank you. However, I see that some HR departments actually try to design jobs so that the job itself is more interesting to the employees. Does ABC do anything like that?
So again, she's showing she's done research into the literature, and now she's trying to find out, what does the company do? Because the company is not going to know what's expected from your assignment. Yes, our jobs are very well defined. We do an excellent job at that. Again, we can see very detailed question from the student, but a very weak question from the employee at the company. And that's fine. We do what we can, but we can see that, okay, maybe he doesn't really know much about HR. But she's still polite.
Oh, great. Can you give me some examples where you have done that and what you saw before and after the change?
So trying to dig a little bit and get more details. Well, we focus on hiring people who care about their job, so they enjoy the job that they are assigned to do. We are very successful at that. Now, of course, we see that his answers continue to not be very good, but that's okay. She's doing her job. The interview continues for a while. Then the student goes to meet with other people in the company to get a different perspective. That's really important. You need to talk to multiple people in the company. Because of something we call self-serving bias, people will tend to talk really well about the things that they are responsible for to make themselves look better. But we need to investigate. We want to find the truth. That's always the goal in research, is to find the truth. So Susie now continues, and she starts talking to somebody else in the company, maybe somebody outside of HR. So she talks to Susie, and she says,
Hi, Susie. Thanks for taking the time to meet with me. Can I ask you a few questions about working here? Sure, as long as you do not ask me for confidential information. Thanks. So I was talking with HR about how they motivate employees. Do you feel they motivate you well? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they give me a cake on my birthday and a little money. That's nice. Do they do anything else?
Nice open-ended question, letting the employee answer however she wants.
Like what? Can you give me an example?
Now again, we should not expect the employee to be an expert in HR, so maybe we need to go into some details, which we can if we've read the literature.
Well, you've worked here for 5 years, right? During that time, have they ever redesigned your job so it would be more fun or more interesting to you? Oh, nothing like that. They don't like to change things here. They just expect us to do our work and not to complain. Do other companies do that? Yes, some do, but I think it's not so common here in Vietnam. Oh, that would be great. I wish they would do that here.
So now our student starts to get an understanding of actually what the employees want. The interview continues for a while, and likely, if the student is doing a very thorough job, probably the student's going to talk to several employees in the company, not just one or two. Then the student compares everything she has heard from the various people in the company, and she compares it to the literature. And then she prepares her slides for her presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Today I will talk about how HR is practiced at ABC Corp. While Smith and Jones report that HRM consists of the following functions: recruiting, selection, compensation, motivation, etc., Kirk in 2017 made the point that each firm is unique. ABC Corp's HRM process does most of these standard functions, like hiring. However, they think they handle motivation too. But in my investigation, I saw that some companies care so much about motivation that they redesign jobs for greater happiness. ABC does not do this.
Again, her answers are very detailed, show a very good connection to literature, show that she understands the company as well.
The objective of the company is to be a leading manufacturer of baby food, receiving high scores for their quality while keeping a low price. So efficiency is very important to them.
Her explanation goes on and gets very detailed here, so we're going to skip that part of her presentation. Then when she goes to answer question 4,
ABC does not seem to measure anything to see if the HR department is effective. They claim they are effective, but they have no evidence to support their claims.
Again, showing that she's done very thorough research. And then she goes on to connect to literature. Even though the company doesn't measure something, she can still make a recommendation showing to the audience that she has done her research.
If they followed the advice of Porter in 2019, they would measure employee happiness through regular anonymous surveys. Then they would learn that employees are not very happy. This would give HR a warning that they need to focus more on motivation before it is too late. Thank you for listening. Does anyone have any questions?
So we can see the research phase and the presentation phase were much, much better than the first one. Why? What did she do that was better than the first one? Well, the student talked to multiple people at the company, so she could get different perspectives and she could compare, and that's really important when it comes to finding out the truth. The student read the literature before the interview, so she was prepared with very detailed questions, which made the interviews much more productive. The student challenged the people from the company and did not accept weak answers like, "We do things very well here." She knows it's her job to do the evaluation and not just report what other people say. This is not a process where you just are a tape recorder and you come and you spit back their words. You need to investigate and find out the truth. And the fact is, people don't always say the truth. Sometimes people lie, but also sometimes people just don't know. And that's your job, is to investigate. The student confirmed what the manager said with workers to get a true full story, a complete picture of what's going on in this company. And in her presentation, she pointed out problems and how literature indicates that firms could do even better. This is exactly what she was asked to do. So what should you do? Follow the right way. Follow the patterns that you see in the second example in this video. You need to read a lot. You need to read journal articles, not websites. You need to prepare well for interviews. And you need to interview many people in the company, not just one person like the HR manager. And you need to prepare a persuasive presentation focusing on something interesting about the company. If you have any questions, you can always ask. Thank you.